Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. If you are new to our channel, subscribe, drop this video a like and get involved in the comments section down below. And welcome back to Transfer Hub. So if you are new around here, subscribe. It helps the channel grow massively. We are well on the road to 8,000 subscribers now. That's absolutely massive for the channel as well. So welcome, Justin.
All right, mate. You're okay?
Yeah, all good, all good. So, strong stance from the gaffer today, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love it. I just love the way he's handled it. I love the way that he's been strong, firm, shown his authority, shown that the ambition of the club is no bigger than one individual. And yes, we are talking about Carney Chukwuemeka. So what are your thoughts on it all?
I'm really pleased he's come out and said what he has, to be honest. I think it's probably something he's wanted to say for a long time throughout this whole saga of it dragging on and on and on. Ever since he's been there, I think it's been high up on his priority list to try and get Carney to sign a long-term deal. And I think they've done everything they can to do that. But I think we've all sort of thought about in the background that I think his mind has been made up for a very long time that he doesn't see his future at Villa. So Villa have tried everything they can. I think they've put their arm around him at times. I think they've tried to give him minutes here and there on the pitch. Gerrards talked him up quite a lot as well. You know, what a prospect he is, what a future he's got, you know, and what a place it could be for him to really make his name at Villa. But it seems the gloves are off now, and we always thought the pre-season and the close season would be where, you know, it would happen, and it looks like, you know, they've all jetted off to Australia. And he was asked the question point blank today, and he came out and point blank answered it, didn't he? He was offered the contract, he hasn't signed it. It's my decision. He made that very abundantly clear. It was his decision. So you stay behind then, and you just carry on training at Villa. Because if you don't see your future in this club and with this squad, with what we're doing, at the end of the day, we're not a Division 2 team, are we? We're Aston Villa Football Club. We've got internationals. We've just signed Philippe Coutinho. We don't need, these kind of annoyances in the background. If he doesn't want to stay, see you later.
Love it. I just love the the mindset of Gerrard to just to be firm like that, because I guess some managers in the past would have like dilly-dallied around the whole thing, and they'd have took him on tour, and they'd have, we'd have been ended up getting mugged off at the end of it. So I think it probably is the right decision, and I can't get my head around him. I really can't. And there's rumours that he's gone to Barca. His representatives have gone to Barca, and he's been demanding that he's in and around the first team squad. And I'm just like, mate, you've got to earn it. You've got to earn the right to be playing at that level. You can't just turn around and be like, oh, I want Champions League football. Like, off the back of what? Like, yeah.
13 games for Villa.
In the under-17s playing
It just beggars belief, like you say. You got a kid here that's been at Villa for 3 or 4 years, big reputation, moved his way through the ranks really quickly, to be honest, because he played at the end of the season before last. When he played against Spurs, and he looked great, and all the signs were that his future was going to be very bright for Villa, but for some reason it's stalled because he won't commit himself. So he's got this massive, seems to have a huge, in his head that he's the finished article. 13 times he's played for Villa. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. And he thinks he can just dictate that he's going to go to a European giant. And to be fair, I think he will get a move to one of the big European clubs, because I can't imagine for a second he'd be doing what he's doing if he hadn't got assurances that he would be able to get a move.
These big clubs now, why would they not? Because the fee is going to be probably around £200,000. To them, it's just a no-risk situation. If it don't work, they'll just, there's no risk to whoever buys him in the end, is that? Because
he's basically... He's wrote off. He will have written off 2 full seasons of progression. If he'd have signed the deal at the start of last season, and even if he'd have just signed a 2 or 3 year extension to his deal, or even a 2-year extension, so at the end of next season it runs out. So if he'd have signed an extra 2 years, he could have had all last season. Probably by now he'd probably been in nearly a bit like Jacob Ramsey. He'd have been probably, if he's as good as he thinks he is, which we still yet to see in a first team shirt. If I'm brutally honest, we've seen glimpses of it, but we haven't seen the real big deal. I mean, I've seen him absolutely like you say. I've seen him batter teams in the under-17s, under-18s, and in the Youth Cup. But he's almost a man playing against boys because he's so developed. You know, I watched his brother play last night, and he's a big unit. You know, Caleb is, Carney's like him, so he was like a man against boys. So he's dominated against the kids, but he hasn't really done it at the first team level, has he? But he's got a huge reputation. He went away in the summer. He knew what he was doing. He's had a decent Euros. And now he's demanding this. This seems to be demanding this move to a European club, but he's wasted. And for me, if I was Villa, if he definitely says he's not staying, I'd just say go and train with under-18s. You know, see you later. You're not going to be a part of the first team squad at all. So he's written off 2 full seasons. He could have been by the end of next season. He could have been a first team regular at Villa with only maybe a 2-year contract ahead of him. And then by then, you imagine the clubs have been circling him then. You know, you probably would have had all the biggest clubs in England, all the biggest clubs in Europe, and they wouldn't have been put off because them kind of clubs, they're not put off by big amounts, are they? So he could have established himself at the Villa, shown exactly what he's capable of, and then with only 2 years left on his deal that he'd signed, say, at the start of last season, he could have then, you know, would have probably been fending off huge bids for him then, and he could have gone and played whatever he wants. But he's taken a huge gamble, in my opinion, huge gamble.
Right, let's move on then. So that was just an appreciation to Gerrard's vibe on the whole thing, really. But yes, move on.
Gerrard.
The Australian tour is well underway now, down under. We got Leeds on Sunday, which I'm really looking forward to watching, seeing how we do against Premier League opposition in pre-season. I think it's clever. It's a clever tour by Villa, to be fair. With 2 games against 2 Premier League sides. You know, there's no better test really than testing against teams that you're going to be playing in the league, to be fair. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great that we get to see Boubacar Kamara. It's nice to see the little snippets on social media. You've got the full squad list, haven't you, Justin, of some of the youngsters that are there? So who is there?
Yeah, the academy players that have gone over are Oliver Ziyech, Philip Marshall, Josh Feeney, Kane Kessler-Hayden, Ben Christine, Jaden Philogene-Bidace, Cameron Archer that are there now, and they expect Tim Irugunam. It's been a while since we said that, innit? I know, yeah. Tim's going, and Aaron Ramsey, apparently, because they were the ones that were in the youth tournament, weren't they? So it's nice to see that he's taking all these kids over that were on the fringes of the first team squad, and they're going to have a real good go at, you know, I imagine they'll get quite a few minutes game time as well, because they're going to be chopping and changing, aren't they? So you can have a real good look at them. The standout 3 for me, 4 actually, Kessler-Hayden, Archer, Tim Irugunam, and Aaron Ramsey, who I think could really be the next jewel in the crown, I think, after watching him in the Euros, because he looked phenomenal. He looked really, really good. So let's concentrate on these kids that are actually going to play now, that have committed themselves to us. And we've got some absolute bangers, to be fair, coming through.
We definitely have. So what are you looking forward to on this pre-season tour?
I'm looking forward to, just like you know, when you are through the pre-season, you're now into the bit when they're all back in training. You just can't wait to see them on the pitch again, can you? So I should be tuning in. I think it's 5:30 on Sunday morning. I'll be able to watch the full game before I go to work. So just seeing them run out again, and you know, they're all there now. So all the other internationals have joined up. Coutinho's there, and you know, they've all managed to, and they look like they're bonding. It's a great bonding exercise as well for them all to go away that far. When you're all together as a group, it's fantastic to really for Gerrard as well, because he came in halfway through the season, and he spoke in that interview today as well. You know, you cannot beat a pre-season. If you miss a pre-season, you are playing catch up for the rest of the season, because you can't get that fitness back. You can't get all those bits and bobs like he was talking about. They can trial things, they can try things, they can try players in different positions, they can try little things that they're working on training without no real risk during a game. Yeah, we want to see us win, but it doesn't really matter. Results don't really matter, do they, pre-season? It's about fitness, it's about getting the bonding going and getting them all really buzzing for the season. But I am buzzing to see the kids given a chance. Kessler-Hayden, we do know, you know, no real rumblings of a right back. signing. I know we've just signed a cover left back, but there's a slot there. Gilbert's over there as well, which is nice to see because he hasn't really been in and amongst it for a long time, so he's going to get a chance to maybe impress and be that backup right back. Kessler Hayden's going to get that chance as well, and I think if he doesn't think some of these kids are quite ready, we've already seen 2 or 3 go out on season-long loans, so the ones that probably he doesn't feel are quite ready will come back, and I would imagine they will go out on loans. But the ones that really impress, and probably the likes of Cameron Archer, who we all think isn't going to be that far away next season. So Archer and Kessler Hayden are the 2 I think will be pushing really to stay within that first team squad next season, and probably Tim Marubinham as well.
Yeah,
Irigbunam. That's the one. Irigbunam finally got it.
Well, that's
so
sure.
10 times.
Your homework now.
Irigbunam got it. Yeah. So Tim
Irigbunam,
Kessler Hayden and Cameron Archer are the 3 I think got the best chance of being in and around the squad. So seeing them 3 play will be really good.
And I think what Gerrard was saying today as well about the squad unity and all being together and sort of, like you say, not having that break. Like it always felt like last season with the team, it was like slightly learning on the job every game. We were getting snippets of this, and we've seen this, and then there was no momentum. And so I just think it's going to be drilled into them in pre-season of what's expected, how we're going to be playing. And I just think it's just going to be a better vibe. And I think everybody's going to have a better understanding. And I'm just really looking forward to next season now, because I just think it's going to be exciting. Do you not think?
No, it's massively exciting, and I agree. Like I said, with any managerial change during the season, you've got to think the players that they were so entrenched in the way Dean Smith did things at Villa. Then all of a sudden he's gone. New manager comes in, sits everybody down. Okay, lads, forget everything you've just done for the last 3 years. This is how we're going to do it. And you just can't. You can't. It's not like flicking a switch and everything changes, because you're changing everything from top to bottom. He's talking to the academy, right? You've got to do this way now, because this is the way I'm going to play in the first team. So they need that pre-season to really get going, and I think that's what it's going to allow us to do. And I really think we're going to see a totally different look Villa team. I don't mean as in formations and style and stuff. I just think it's going to be a really positive Villa team this season. And I don't think, this drawing a line in the sand with Chukwuemeka, I think this is Gerrard's gloves are off now. I've put up with a few shitty performances last season. I wasn't happy with a few bits and bobs that went on. That ends now. This is the Steven Gerrard area. 100% starts day one, Bournemouth. What happened last season, day one, when we played the promoted team with Watford and we got battered. I cannot imagine that's going to happen again next season. I just can't, because he will not accept it, and he'll be drilling that into him this season. We want to be in and amongst the top 6 or 8 teams in this country. And to be there, you have to be consistently very, very good. So what he wants is a group of 20 players that he can rely on and he can trust. Whoever he picks, whoever plays, they're going to go out there and do it week in, week out. So this is their chance as players, the likes of your Sansons and your Baileys and your Traores that have been on this fringes all last year, and everyone's going, oh, I'll get rid of them, I'll get rid of them, I'll get rid of them. And your Gilberts, this is your chance now to say, I can be trusted, I can play, I can really go and make a real future of myself at Villa. And then it's up to Gerrard then to see what they're doing and then pick the squad he wants, because I do still see 1 or 2 incomings, I think, but I think he's going to use this trip abroad, these 3 games, to really finalise in his head what he wants to do to finish off the squad for the season.
Love it. Positivity. It is great. So yeah, I think we'll just round it off there. Then a little bit of a preview. We'll probably do match. Should we do match reactions, Justin?
Yeah, please? Definitely. Yeah, I think we need to talk about the games. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we'll do another match reaction then after the Leeds game.
Can we do it after the game, or can we go? And have we got any budget to pop over and do it? In the ground after the game. Villa. Imagine.
But we have, hopefully, we have got some people that are at the games going to be doing some little reactions as well. So it'll be great to hear their thoughts as well. So thank you everyone for watching. If anything drops in the meantime, we will be back, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, drop the video a like, and up the Villa.
Up the Villa.